Everyone, this is the Trygesis Thursday Newsletter for January 9th, 2025, yeah. And this is the first newsletter of the new year. This is the third newsletter overall, and by far the best. So that's always good, and we get better every week. Now I call this the No Mansplaining edition, and I'm going to explain why. I'm going to talk about art versus commerce, and also paradoxes, and how this mansplaining has some paradox to it, because I need to explain a few things, but I'm going to try not to mansplain them as I explain them. Art versus commerce, well, there's some paradoxes within this video also when it comes to commerce and art, so I'll get to that. And I have some Latin terms I wanted to go over because I think they're important. There'll be a test on it. Ad lib, we all know what that means, without preparation. And that's what I'm doing right now, except for my cheat sheet. Ad hoc, that means as needed. So I'm kind of making these videos as we have new things to talk about and get the message out about our band, Trygesis, and what we're up to. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Well, our days are limited, so it's a good reminder. Seize the day. Do make the day the best you can. Caveat emptor. Well, we're talking about art versus commerce, so caveat emptor means let the buyer beware. So when I start talking about our music, if you want to download it and pay money to hear it, caveat emptor. And the last one is pro forma. Means as if. So as I talk to this little lens, it's as if I'm talking to an audience. And so it's Wednesday, but this is for a Thursday release. So it's as if I'm making this video tomorrow. And as you watch it, maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, it's as if this was made on Thursday, as if I'm talking to you one-on-one, but really I'm talking to a little lens here. Pro forma. There'll be a test later. Now, let's talk about, let's see. We have 3 singles out, our band, Trygesis. The first one we released in October. That was that was In Afterthought by JG. Before I get to that, our 3 singles, I want to talk about Swift, JG, Kevin, and me for a minute. Swift retired a few years ago, moved back to Salem from California. I retired in April 2022, moved from Connecticut back to Salem. JG retired in November of 2023, moved back to Salem from Detroit. And Kevin, I don't know when he retired, but he moved from Michigan to Ohio recently. Now, Swift's real name is David Swartz. Everybody calls him Swift. Great nickname. JG is John Goodlow, obviously, JG, John Goodlow. I don't know that Kevin has a nickname, so I'm going to call him K-Mac, because it's, or KM, I don't know, I haven't decided. Whatever he likes, maybe he doesn't want to be called by a nickname, I haven't asked him. And the only nickname I know that one person called me is Shithead. So, and I'll explain that. When my dad was in the nursing home several years ago in Salem, I used to go visit him. And when I'd leave, there's always this elderly lady sitting in a chair by the door with her friend, nice gentleman. He was always smiling, very happy, but she was always dour and grumpy and never smiled. I would always nod to them on my way out, and the gentleman would nod back, the lady never would. So one day I'm walking out and I decided to be extra nice to the lady. I said, hey, see you later, see you next time. Excuse me, hope you're well. And as I push open the door, she didn't respond, but as I pushed open the door, she goes, shithead. So it made me laugh. So next time I saw her as I'm leaving the building, I was again very nice. I said, hey, how you doing? Remember me? Shithead. And she looked at me and kind of was taken aback and didn't say anything, so I left. But lesson learned, you know, just accept things as they are, as if pro forma. So that's why I'm shithead. Hopefully that name doesn't catch on. Next time I go to the open mic, people, hey shithead, how you doing? I can hear it now. It's coming. So, as I said, we started rehearsing. I got back from Connecticut last March 2024. We finally got busy making the record, and the record's about to be released this March 2025. We recorded a bunch of songs, maybe 15 songs. We picked the 12 best. Actually, we have 11 that we really like. We need one more song that I think I've got it figured out, but we'll see. But we have 12 songs regardless of whether we use this new one or not. And so that was our whole spring, summer, and fall was making this record. And we released our first single in October. That was called In Afterthought by JG. And it was sort of a tribute to Harry Connick Jr. and Frank Sinatra. Got that big band swing feel. It's a great tune. Check it out on Spotify, YouTube, iTunes, etc. Then in November, we released Swift's song, Effie. And that's kind of a Ray Davies Kinks tribute. And it's been getting a great response, so definitely check that one out, Effie. And then the third one we released is called Not Me. That was released on December 19th. It's by JG. And it's like an Elvis Costello tribute from Elvis' sound back in the late 70s, early 80s. And then coming up, I guess maybe the first week of February, we'll do our fourth single, and that is called, well, I don't know what it's called yet. It's two possibilities. It's either Flip Flop Girl or Wishing Me. Flip Flop Girl is kind of a power pop tribute song. Sort of has, it's influenced by the Beach Boys, the Beatles, Badfinger, the Squeeze, Fountains of Wayne, the Smithereens, Jellyfish, bands like that. So that was the kind of idea behind that one that I wrote. And then I also wrote another one called Wishing Me, which was a kind of a reggae tune. It's a tribute to Sting and the Police. A little bit of Bob Marley maybe. But I'm not sure which we're going to release next, Wishing Me or Flip Flop Girl. Probably Flip Flop Girl, but we'll see. So anyway, the four of us, Swift, JG, Kevin, me, get together once or twice a week lately. We did a few open mics. Kevin played bass on a few of the tunes or whatever, maybe just one or two, I forget, because he just joined the party late. And but we've been having a lot of fun, and we have a lot of I mean, the best thing about practice is we laugh a lot. We crack a lot of jokes, and it is the best fun. It reminds me of what John Wooden said, the great coach of the UCLA Bruins. He loved practice more than he loved coaching the games. And he explains it better than I can, but when you're a coach, you're just watching those players develop, watching them come together as a cohesive group. And then when they do get in the game and they execute all those things you've taught them, that is the reward. But getting there, the practices is really, that's the backbone of the whole operation. So that's kind of how I feel about this band. I love the rehearsals. I love getting together with the guys, cracking jokes, hearing the songs develop, hearing the band develop and get tighter and tighter. And then we've done a couple open mics. And when we nail those songs, it's a very rewarding feeling, and hopefully the audience feels it too. So yeah, art versus commerce. So this is where I'm going to take a break and do a promotion for a product. Deadly Grounds Coffee. Can you see that? Deadly Grounds. This is my good friend of mine, Tom Lalios from Connecticut. We did a lot of videos together. Tom is a fantastic video engineer and editor, but he also has a coffee company, and he called Deadly Grounds. And what he does, he goes to a lot of the Comic-Con conventions and movie conventions and things like that, where people dress up in their costumes. And he has a booth usually. He sets up a booth with me, gives away samples of coffee, and he sells coffee. He tries to build his own customer base. And getdeadly.com is his website. And this is this particular one is called Hellhound Roast. That's kind of like a gremlin or something. I don't know what that is. Anyway, this guy named Tyler Green, a special effects makeup artist, I guess he designed this particular package. So that's pretty cool graphics. Nice job by Tyler. And so yeah, getdeadly.com. You can order off his website. And he used to sell this. He used to Tom made a brand exclusively for Johnny Winters. I think it was Johnny Winters. Maybe it's Edgar Winters, one or the other. And they sold it on their website, but it was made by Tom, but rebranded as a Winters coffee. So that was cool. And it turns out that Tom was also good friends with the Smithereens, the rock band The Smithereens, who I mentioned was one of my influences, my song Flip Flop Girl. So that's a small world. Smithereens were from New Jersey. So that was that. And then I guess next we want to talk about, this is where the mansplaining comes in. And I'm going to try not to mansplain too much, because this is a no mansplaining edition. So if you look, I'll look at this graph. I don't know where it's going to be, here or just the full screen. But you'll see there's 2 columns and 2 rows. The left column is labeled people who know music. The right column is people who don't know music. The first row is people who care to learn more about the technical aspects of music. And the bottom row is labeled people who don't care to know more about the technical aspects of music. So this is where mansplaining comes in. See, the first box, upper left-hand quadrant of this little quad box table, people who know music, people who care to learn more, maybe that's 2% of the population. I don't know, I'm making that number up. Not very many people know music and want to learn more. It's just, it's probably the beginners, musicians who are trying to learn the record business, the recording business. Then there's people who don't know music. The upper right-hand corner, people who don't know music, but they want to learn more, just because they're interested. And that's probably a small percentage of the population too, maybe 2%. In the lower left-hand quad box, it's people who know music, but they don't want to care to learn more. And then maybe like a professional musician, they don't really want to hear me talk about the technical aspects of music because they already know it. That's maybe 2% of the population. And then the lower right-hand quadrant is people who don't know music and they don't care to learn anything more. They just want to hear the music. Don't explain to them all the technical aspects. That's maybe 94% of the population. So the problem with mansplaining is that you think you're talking to those people in the top row who care about hearing more, but you're really talking to the people in the bottom row, the 96% who don't care about hearing what you think about making music. They just play the music. So that's so I'm going to try to talk to explain this as if I'm talking to the 94% who don't really want to hear all the technical stuff, but in order to get this point across, they got to explain something. So that's the paradox, see? How do you explain something without mansplaining? So we uploaded our song. When you upload a song to the streaming media, you can't just upload to iTunes or Amazon. They won't let you. they make you use a third party called a digital service, and Spotify is the same way. They won't let you upload to Spotify. You have to use a digital service provider, DSP. A DSP is like a company called CD Baby. So we upload our songs to CD Baby. CD Baby then pushes them out to all the streaming platforms, whether it's YouTube, Amazon, iTunes, Spotify, and that's how you get to hear them. When you visit those sites, you can look up our name and you'll see them. Now, YouTube does allow you to upload to your own personal page, but CD Baby also will upload them to a separate place. So our songs actually appear in two places on YouTube, under our band, and which is an official CD Baby upload, or our own, Trygesis section of YouTube that's not affiliated with CD Baby. So it's getting technical. But I found, I was searching, there's 140 different companies or something like that CD Baby uploads to for streaming. And who knew there were that many places you could subscribe to listen to music, but there are. But I found one interesting one called Qobuz, Qobuz, Qobuz.com. And they allow for very high quality uploads. In other words, when you upload to CD Baby, it's CD quality, and that's called a 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz. Okay, that's what a CD. When you buy a CD at the store, or when you used to, that was the sample rate, 44,000 times per second. That music is sampled. Well, Qobuz allows 96,000 times per second samples, which is more than twice as much as, sampled twice as fast as a regular CD. So in theory, it should sound better. Now, I've read studies that say 4 out of 5 people can't tell the difference. Well, most people use earbuds or headphones or their car speaker, whatever. Nowadays, people don't really have that many expensive high fidelity systems to hear this amazing music. Even CD quality sounds really good on a great stereo. But if you do the high sample uploads, the super high fidelity, they sound even better. Qobuz allows for that. But CD Baby, who's our distributor, they only accept CD quality. They don't accept anything higher. But Qobuz allows the artist to directly upload to their website, unlike Amazon and Spotify and iTunes and Tidal, etc. So what you're going to see in the future, you'll see our music still on Spotify, but you're going to see it on Qobuz, and it'll be you may not hear the difference depending on what you're listening through, but we're going to upload higher quality recordings, fidelity-wise, that is. So that's sort of my mansplaining. But if you look at this graphic now, I'm going to put up. Qobuz allows you to, even though we put our music on Qobuz for us, you can actually buy our songs. You can download them at 49 cents a piece, or 99 cents, depending on which version you download. This is weird too. CD Baby put our music on Qobuz, and you can, each single, we had 3 singles, released about 6 weeks apart, but Qobuz lists each single twice, one as a single version, and one as an album version, as if an album is just one song. And here's the weird, where it gets really weird. If you download the single, it costs 99 cents. But if you download the same song, but it's called an album, it's only 49 cents. So I said I'd recommend, if you really want to buy the music, buy the album version. It's only 49 cents. If you want to give us extra money, download both. It's cost you $1.48. Support the channel, support us, support our songwriting. Now we're talking about commerce. So that's the paradox. You know, we don't do it for the money, but if you want to download it, hey, we're not against it, because at some point we want to do a little tour, and we got to pay, you know, gas money, food, wear and tear on the vehicles. If we're going to do that, we do have to have a little war chest build up to support the touring. Now, we're not talking any major tour. We're talking like, you know, driving to Youngstown or Cleveland or Pittsburgh or something. Maybe Columbus. Something we can do on a day trip. Detroit, that'd be about the outside limits probably. And I don't think that's going to happen. So that is about it. Oh, and so I want to talk about what we're doing right now. We are sort of laying the groundwork. Think of it as farmers, I guess. We're laying the groundwork for what's to come. We're spending our winter writing, so we can record new songs in the spring. It's kind of like planting the garden. So you might think of us as we're piling up the manure to spread on the fields in the fall. We're gathering up the shit. It's going to be in the fields, and we're going to plant that garden. This is our new songs. We're going to record them, work at it over the summer, and hopefully in the fall we can reap the harvest and have a new album out then. And what else? So if you have any questions, because next week I'd like to do a Q&A video, you can email us at trygesis@outlook.com. I think that's down here on the screen, or maybe up here. I don't know. Or call us, text us on our cell phone, business cell phone, 234-237-1958, 1958. So I think that's all for now. Hope you're having a great new year, and I will talk to you next week.